How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Crafting Cars. It is Friday morning, 6 a.m. the 16th, and I am just leaving work. I'm starting this video right now because we got a very busy yet very exciting day today. We are in the CRV, and today we're going to be picking up a new Honda, so very stoked on that. Just gotta go home, get myself all cleaned up, and get a trailer hooked up, and we will be on our way, so I'll catch you then. All right, so I'm all cleaned up, went ahead, took the CRV, filled it up with gas, hooked up the trailer. The CRV only has a tongue weight capacity of 150 pounds, so it's a good thing this aluminum trailer weighs like nothing. I borrowed this from my dad, so shout out to him. Happy Father's Day, I guess. And yeah, so now I'm ready to head on up there. I picked up some Dunkin' Donuts as well, so I'll be eating that on my way up. I gotta stop at the bank, grab some cash too. I put a deposit down on this, but I still have to get the rest of the money. So, here we go. All right, transaction complete. The seller, Dayton, was a really good guy. He's into old bikes and Hondas and old cars, and he's got a couple Project Pharaohs and stuff. So yeah, really nice seller. And now we got ourselves a new Honda. So let's get this thing home and check it out. So surprise, surprise, my new Honda is a motorcycle. You're looking at a 1984 Honda Interceptor VF 500. And this is a 500cc, 4-cylinder, 16-valve, street weapon. Let me show you around the bike. So this bike is old, but does not have the original tires. We're rocking with some Pirelli Sport Demons. These rubbers only have about 700 miles on them. It's got the ultra rare Honda line luggage rack. Hard to find these. The old 80s style bulky turn signals have been replaced with these LEDs. I'll bring it to the garage, turn the lights off, and show you what those look like. We got this iconic square 80s style headlight. It's got disc brakes, that's a plus. All the fairings and the plastics are in pretty good condition. Not too many scuffs or cracks or anything. The gas tank has been repaired once, so you can see this black spot here. That's not how it was originally. It was all white, but somebody had to fix this tank because I think there's some rust in here. So eventually we might get a new tank on this, John. The only really aftermarket things on this bike are the turn signals, the exhaust. The tips are aftermarket, but I believe it's still the stock muffler underneath there. So the bike is pretty quiet. And I think eventually I'll probably powder coat these wheels white to go along with the 80s style, you know what I mean? So now we're finally back in my garage. I'll show you a couple more rad things about this bike, and then we'll go over some updates on the Civic project. Now this bike is almost 30 years old now. It's got 19,000 miles on it. However, it starts up first try every time. Show you the turn signals on here. Super cool. So when you turn the bike on, you can see they're sequential. And then when you turn on the side markers there, turn signals, they got a little cool little sequential pattern as well. And it's the same thing on the taillights. So yeah, pretty cool mod there. And another cool thing he did is it's got a USB port on it. So if you ever need to charge your phone when you're riding or anything like that, got this port right here. So it's kind of cool. We got an 80s bike with a couple of modern amenities on it. And to go along with this 80s bike, we got ourselves an 80s motorcycle helmet. No shit, this thing is SNELL 80s. So yeah, this thing is old. This actually belonged to my dad. He used to have this when he had his Interceptor, so he had a bike pretty much exactly like this one. I don't think it is the exact same bike, although these are pretty hard to come by these days. I've been searching for this bike for around 3 years. Every time one pops up on Facebook Marketplace, either something's damaged with it to the point where it'd be kind of tricky to repair it with kind of like hard to find parts,
Otherwise, they're usually like 4 or 5 hours away. This bike was only 30 minutes away from my house, so it was really a no-brainer. The seller had it priced right, so I just had to pick it up. I also love that the seller included the original climber manual. Now this thing has everything you need to keep the maintenance up on this bike, plus more. And I love the picture on the front. You can see the guy, he's got a red SIMPSON helmet, just like we got here. So that's really cool. Also included with the bike, we got the OEM exhaust here, the OEM turn signals, and it's good to see he included some oil as well. He's running some good stuff, that GN4 Pro Honda, as well as Mobil 1 Racing oil. So yeah, love to see that. There is a aftermarket chain on that bike because the original chain was a solid chain, so no master link. He's got an aftermarket chain here. He included the box in case I have to replace it or do anything to it. So yeah, this way, chain's much easier to take off if I have to take a wheel off or do any maintenance on it. Now, if you guys would be interested, in the future, I do plan on making some motorcycle vlogs. However, before I start riding this thing seriously, I still got to get a whole bunch of gear. I got an 80's motorcycle jacket, a Honda racing jacket coming, so that's going to be cool. But I still got to get my permit, and I still got to do my knowledge test and do my little short course road test so I can drive this thing at night and drive it with passengers and all that good stuff. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I'm really excited. Like I said, let me know if you guys are interested in that sort of thing. So yeah, I suppose now we can start talking about the Civic. You may notice the rear flare here. It's looking a little bit better than last time we left you. So I still got a pile of flares over there. I'll break it down and show you guys kind of the steps here. I'm still kind of learning about all this body work, but yeah, I'll show you what I got going on. All right, so a quick breakdown on how I'm making these wide body flares. It all starts with the plastic universal flare. You can see we trim them up. We use a little bit of heat to kind of warp them to shape the body of the car. Had them screwed to the car, and once I had everything kind of cut and molded how I want, then we started laying some fiberglass. So here's what we made in the last video, where I laid up some fiberglass. We did a wet layup with some long strands, and I used black resin dye, so that's what gives us that nice black color, so we can get closer to what the finished product looked like. And as you can see, nice and flat and sat really nice on the car, but obviously it's very rough, so got to fix that, make them look nice and smooth. So that's where the body filling starts. So on this flare, you can see it's just like this front flare, but we use some fiberglass laced body filler. I got some of that right over here. So I use U-POL Fiberall Light. It's basically like a mix of Bondo and fiberglass all in one. It's pretty easy to sand, spreads pretty nice, but you can see it's still pretty rough. So this is after a couple spread outs and some sanding. Now to take it to the next level, get it even smoother, then I move on to kind of more just standard body kind of filler. So this is Dolphin One Fill Premium All-in-One Body Filler. This stuff is just basically like Bondo you get at the store. Now when you spread that stuff on, it looks kind of like a little more like toothpaste. It's really easy to spread, and when you sand that, that's when you finally get your nice result. Now it might take 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 spread outs to get your desired shape, but after a couple of tries, eventually it looks nice and smooth just like this. We got that nice clean edge going, and as you can see, it still fits super nice along the body of the car. So I've kind of trimmed it up to line up with the body lines as I desired. And yeah, I'll probably do a couple more spread outs on this, make sure I get it sanded nice, and it'll be ready for primer and paint. So within this next week here, I plan on finishing up all 4 corners of the car. As far as paint goes, the flares are gonna be satin black, same color as our splitters here. I'm going to be painting the door moldings here and the PCI side skirts the same color as the car, that Battleship gray. Our stripes on the side of the car are going to be black as well, just like the splitters and the flares. So yeah, hopefully it's all going to start coming together pretty soon here. And then once I get this wrapped up, we still got some projects on the Stealth and got a couple projects on the bike coming up as well. So stay tuned. I got plenty of content coming for you guys. It's been pretty crazy in Afton's life over here. All right, so as always, thank you guys for tuning into Crafting Cars. If you guys like what you see, don't forget to leave a like and leave a comment down below. We like to read them and reply to you guys. If you want some more of this kind of behind the scenes action, you could always follow me on Instagram. I'm pretty active on there. That's at afton.voigt.ej8. And yeah, until then, I will see you next time. Thanks again. Bye-bye.